let's go in now for Today We Remember.
Today we remember. Today we remember.
All right, so we're talking about the regaining of independence, by the Republic of South Africa. It happened today on the 31st of May in 1913. Actually, the time South Africa regained their independence from the British. But then there's another day which we actually observed in last month in April. That's the South Africa Freedom Day. At that time, that's where the apartheid thing was over. Every, citizen of South Africa was allowed to vote. So, irrespective of your ethnicity, the color of your skin, you get the opportunity to vote. So that's the South Africa Freedom. But I think people really celebrate that the most, But this particular day was the day South Africa regained their independence from the British. But then again, the challenge was still on because, the white South Africans were still minority, but majority in terms of power, ruling on all of that. So, yeah, this happened on the 31st of May 1913. So, General Louis Botha formed the government as Prime Minister. He was actually the first Prime Minister of South Africa on May 31st in 1910. Parliamentary elections were held on September 15, 1910, and the South African Party, headed by Louis Botha and James Hertzog, won 67 out of 130 seats in the House of Assembly. So, yeah, this is what it is like on the 30 today. In history, in the history of South Africa. So it's not about just about the South Africa Freedom Day, because when you go deeper, you realize that it's not just about this particular day, but there is that actual day where they became independent from the British. So, yeah, that is what we're looking at today on the Africa Daily Show. So, the date is actually May 31st, 1910. Yes, just to make that correction. May 31st, 1910. And then the elections, took place in 1913, just for clarifications and all of that. So, yeah, that's it for today on Today We Remember. And then I'd like to remember this particular day as well. May 31st, in 2008, Usain Bolt became a world record holder. Yeah, after, Bolt sliced through the tape in 9.72 seconds, convincingly beating Tyson Gay, the American, sprinter, one of the fastest men ever. Usain Bolt broke that record today in 2008, that the 31st of May. So, great historical bits remembrance right there. There is another important one as well that I'd like to go. It says, on this day in 1909, the National Negro Committee, an influential group of leaders for social change, held its first meeting in New York City. The organization would later become known as the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. So, important day. It is in history. A lot of events took place. I believe there are others that we don't really know much of. But these are the top ones that I'm telling you. South Africa regained their independence in 1910 from the British. Usain Bolt, gave a new record, actually, by beating that of Tyson Gay in 2008, today, 31st of May, as well as the National Negro Committee, an influential group of leaders for change, had their first meeting today in 1909. A year later, South Africa regained their independence from the British. So a very important day today. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio.